Okay, everyone. So today, I have a pleasant surprise. Another lens review. This is a Minolta MC Rokkor Tele 200mm f3.5 lens. This is an outstanding lens. Now it does have a couple of small issues, but as long as you're using it appropriately, you will not be disappointed, and I'll show you why here in a minute. This lens is very heavy. Now it is adapted for my Fuji X-H1, and you can see how the etchings are for your distance. So first we're going to talk about the issues. At f3.5, it's not a great lens to use inside. You can, but the second issue is the close focal distance is it is 8 feet. So you have to be kind of far away from your subject to use this. However, this lens allows you to take very nice shots at, of course, a distance, but you can do portraits with this lens and you don't have to be in anybody's face. Now, on a crop sensor camera, this lens will perform roughly 300mm, depending on your camera. Also, it will perform from f3.5, it'll be more like an f5.6 in its performance. But the lens is extraordinarily sharp. And this is a really old lens and can be had really cheaply. On crop sensor camera, like I said, you're looking at roughly 300mm performance out of this lens as far as reach goes. It is an all metal. It's very heavy, solid construction. Now, I bought this lens as part of a kit. I actually bought it from a friend of mine in Jacksonville, Florida, and he bought it brand new in Japan, along with this lens, which I've already reviewed, which is another just excellent lens. The pair of Minolta lenses I have are both of them are just outstanding. I actually use this lens on a Minolta SRT 101. That's the camera that came in the kit. The two lenses in the camera, along with a bunch of filters and a 2x teleconverter, and I'll do another video on that, was $400 in 1996-97. You know, not entirely sure how much this lens sells for now, but in equivalent focal lengths you will spend a lot more and get not as good a quality. Now granted, these are primes, but it's just a really nice lens, and I'll show you why here in a minute. Anyway, I would say if you can find that lens for, I'll just do a quick search while I'm talking to you guys. If you can find a good copy, so online I'm showing prices that start at $50 at KEH all the way up to $120 at Adorama. The KEH, let's see what they rate the lens at. Yeah, $50 is bargain. And that's just a great price for what you're going to get out of this. You could spend a couple of $1,000s and not get a lens as sharp as this. The lens is threaded. Let's see. Doesn't look like it says, but I believe it's a 72mm. It might be a 77mm thread. It does have built-in hood, and the lens cap for it's a slip over kind, and that is one issue I'm gonna have to resolve, because I need to get a replacement lens cap, and I want one that actually sticks to it, because I no longer have my slip-on lens cap. Anyway, let me flip over here and you can see here's KEH. I'll go back so you can see sort of the range and prices. Oh. So here you go, exact copies. You know, make sure it's a good clean lens, make sure there's no fungus, of course, but you know, even at $120 I would have no problem buying this lens. It's that good. And you know, I like my camera equipment cheap, but moving on, we'll get into some pictures so you can see the quality that comes out of this lens. You know, so here's the first picture. Now everything is tack sharp. I believe I shot this at f11, ISO 200, and I let the I did have this camera mounted on a tripod with a shutter release cable, and again this was mounted on my Fuji X-H1, but as you can see, the quality is just brilliant. Let's move on to the star of the show, and there's my visitor. You know, you can see that this is still very much sharp focus. The hummingbird, of course, as a moving target. The shutter speeds, I believe, came in roughly 1/80th of a second. And basically I had this set aperture priority with a fixed ISO of 200. You know, let's look at a couple more here. Here's another one, and as you can see, I'm zooming in. You know, see if I can find our little buddy. There it is. You know, now you should also be aware that I shot this through our back door, large pane of glass. So, and to get this picture, I did not take the time to clean that. So this is through a very much photographic piece of glass, but it is definitely a very nice result. So anyway, that's the Minolta f3.5 MC 200mm Rokkor tele lens. You can't go wrong buying this lens for a mirrorless camera setup. And of course the lens is manual focus. There are no contact points on the lens, so you're not going to get any EXIF data out of the lens. And if you're like me, I don't go in and set up the EXIF data on the camera when I swap lenses. So, but anyway, there it is. And that's pretty much it for the lens. Now, I do have a small announcement. Well, a couple of things. The first, I am going to be adding a new series. What I am going to do is, it'll be kind of a tutorial from my vantage point. And I'm going to start with probably kind of a list of just generic tips, how to improve your photography. But I'm also going to go through each of my cameras that at least I intend to keep. And I'm going to go through those in some detail. And I'll go through and show you how I set the camera up and the settings that I use to achieve my pictures. And of course, you know, I'll let you know what lenses I'm using to achieve those results. These videos won't be coming out at a high frequency. These will probably be at best once a month. They might be once every 2 months. With that being said, I'll also continue the photo assignments as a separate set of videos I'll put together. And I'm still working on photo assignment number 3, eye level shooting. So watch for those videos coming, and you know, I'm hoping people will get value out of that. Anyway, I was going to start with my manual cameras first, and let me flip this over so you guys can see me. Anyway, I was going to start with my manual cameras first. Initially I planned on doing the Yashica medium format TLR camera that I have. However, I've had a request to cover the X-H1, so I guess I'll go through that camera first, and I guess I'll also, instead of doing film to digital, I'm going to do digital to film over time. And yeah, I hope you guys like these videos. If you do, please press the like button. And if you're not a subscriber, I would appreciate it if you did subscribe. So, thanks. Have a great day.